The Clock's Whisper, a tale of time well spent. Maya sat on her bed, staring at her never-ending to-do list. She had school assignments, work deadlines, family responsibilities, and social obligations all piled up. The more she tried to balance everything, the more overwhelmed she felt. It was as if time was slipping through her fingers, and no matter how hard she worked, she was always behind. Frustrated, she closed her eyes and muttered, "There's never enough time." Her phone buzzed, snapping her out of her thoughts. It was her friend Aisha, asking if she wanted to grab a quick coffee. Maya smiled, but hesitated. She was swamped, and even though she desperately wanted a break, she felt guilty about taking time away from her obligations. At that moment, the antique clock on her nightstand chimed softly. It was a gift from her grandmother, a beautiful old piece she'd always admired. Maya picked it up, noticing for the first time a faint inscription on the back. "Time whispers to those who listen." Curiosity piqued. She traced the words with her finger. Instantly, a soft glow surrounded her, and everything around her blurred. When the light faded, she found herself standing in a vast golden field, under a sky tinged with soft pinks and purples. In the distance, a figure approached. As it drew nearer, Maya recognized her grandmother, though she looked much younger, vibrant and serene. "Maya," her grandmother greeted her warmly. "I see you found the clock's secret." Maya blinked, confused. "Is this a dream?" Her grandmother chuckled. "In a way, yes, but you're here because you need to understand something about time." Maya sighed. "I'm always running out of time. No matter how much I plan, I can never seem to keep up." Her grandmother gave her a gentle smile. "That's because you're seeing time as your enemy. But time is not something you need more of. It's something you already have enough of. You just need to spend it wisely." They walked toward a tree, and beneath it sat a giant hourglass. The sand inside shimmered like stars. Maya was mesmerized. "This is the hourglass of life," her grandmother explained. "Every grain of sand represents a moment. Some moments are long, some are short, but all are precious. The key to spending time wisely isn't in cramming more into your day, but in recognizing what truly matters." Maya frowned. "But how do I know what matters?" Her grandmother gestured to the hourglass. "Time moves forward no matter what. You can't stop it. But you can choose where to place your energy. Not every moment has to be filled with tasks. Resting, laughing, learning, these are just as important. The world will always try to tell you how to spend your time, but only you know what truly fills your heart." Maya looked at the hourglass and began to understand. She had been so focused on crossing things off her list that she hadn't taken the time to appreciate the small, meaningful moments in her life. Suddenly, images began flashing through her mind. Her mother's laughter during their weekend chats, the joy of curling up with a good book, the sense of connection she felt during deep conversations with Aisha. These were the moments that filled her with joy and purpose, but she had been neglecting them in the rush to get things done. "You see," her grandmother said softly, "time isn't slipping away from you. It's offering itself to you, moment by moment. The question is, how will you spend it?" Maya felt a warmth in her chest as her grandmother's words settled in. She realized she didn't have to constantly chase time. She needed to be more intentional with it. "I think I get it now," Maya said, her voice filled with calm. "I need to focus on what really matters to me." Her grandmother smiled knowingly. "Exactly. Time will whisper to you if you let it. Listen closely and you'll find that you always have enough." With those final words, the golden field began to fade, and soon Maya was back in her room, the familiar ticking of the clock filling the silence. She looked at her phone and smiled. Without hesitation, she texted Aisha back. "I'd love to grab coffee." The overwhelming weight of her to-do list seemed lighter now. She knew she would get through her tasks, but she would also make time for the moments that brought her joy. Maya placed the clock back on her nightstand, feeling its steady rhythm echo through her room. For the first time in a long while, she felt at peace. Time was no longer her enemy. It was her guide. Moral: time is a gift, not a burden. When we spend it on what truly matters, on love, learning, and laughter, it becomes a treasure rather than a thief. Listen closely, and you'll find that time always whispers its secrets, waiting for you to spend it wisely.